Hi, I'm Todd Jones, host of the podcast Pressbox Access. Here's a clip from my interview with Hal McCoy. Hal explains why Hall of Fame second baseman Joe Morgan went many, many years without talking to him. One of the guys that you had an interesting relationship with is Joe Morgan. In 1979, when the players, Rose is gone, Perez is gone, Sparky's gone, I think you wrote a column saying it's time to move on and Joe Morgan should be traded. How was that received?
That was funny that you'd bring that up because when we were talking about Sparky getting fired, I was thinking about Joe Morgan as we talked. It was 1979, and they were breaking up the Big Red Machine, as you said. Perez had been tired. Perez had been traded, and uh, Ken Griffey Jr. was gone to the Yankees. Gullett was gone to the Yankees. Rose was gone. About the only ones left were Morgan and Bench and Concepcion. And I wrote a column not saying that he should be traded. It was his free agent year, and he had made it clear that he was going to leave. So I wrote a column saying it was time to leave. I did not criticize him. I did not say he wasn't a great player. I said he was still a great player, but he didn't fit what the Reds were doing anymore, and it was time for him to move on. Well, I went into the clubhouse the next day. That's one thing you got to do as a baseball writer or any kind of writer. If you write a controversial story, don't hide. Show up, face the music. So I walked right over to Joe, and he stuck his finger in my face and said, "Don't ever try to talk to me again." Okay, all right. So I didn't. So Joe and I didn't talk for 35 years. Uh,
Wow.
yes. Uh, we were. He came back as a broadcaster later with the Reds, and we played doubles tennis against each other. We never spoke. We were
Not at all? Wait a minute. You're playing
not.
tennis against Joe Morgan and you're not even
Yes,
speaking to
did
each
not
other?
speak. No, I think we were more concentrating on trying to hit each other with overheads. But we were on elevators by ourselves together. We would both stand like this, straight ahead, not look at each other. Standing next to each other at the urinals in the bathroom, don't talk. And it went on that way for 35 years. When I went into the Hall of Fame on induction weekend, I was standing in front of the Otsego Hotel with my family, my mother, my father, uh, my wife, and my brothers and sisters. And this white Cadillac limousine pulls up. Joe Morgan gets out. And I'm standing up on the steps, and Joe comes start up the steps. He spoke to my mother. He spoke to my father. He spoke to my wife, my sisters, my brothers. And I thought, oh, okay, this is going to be great. We're going to make up. By the time he got to me, he pretty much elbowed me in the chest as he walked by and didn't say a word. So,
Wow.
it continued. And about 4 or 5 years ago, Joe is back with the Reds as a consultant, and he comes into the clubhouse every once in a while. It was a Sunday morning. I'm there early, and I'm standing watching the TV because there's nobody else in the clubhouse. And Joe walks in, and I just kind of looked over my shoulder and then started watching TV. And all of a sudden, I heard, "Hey Hal, hey Hal," and I thought, "There's nobody else in here. It's got to be Joe." And I turned around, and he walked over, and he stuck out his hand, and he said, "I just want to apologize." He said, "I was very young at the time, did some dumb things, and I was very childish." And I said, "Joe, I was just as childish as you were." I said, "I never lost respect for you as a player, but you told me not to speak to you. I honored that, but it was a very childish thing, and I'm very happy that we were able to make up. And I'm so glad that we did because, he passed away not too long ago, and I would have hated to him leave us like that and not speak to him for over 35 years."
Wow, that is amazing. I mean,
I
think
know.
about this. I mean, 3 decades plus of just staring at each other
Yeah,
or
exactly.
looking away.
Ignoring each other. Yeah, yeah.
One of the all-time
But
great players. And then,
what?
and then when he
Absolutely.
passed, what did it mean to you when he died a few years ago? Because you had this interesting relationship all those years.
Yeah, I wrote a column pretty much saying everything that I just told you, and people were amazed, of course, that two people who had contact with each other so much would go 35 years without speaking. But uh, that's the way it was.